Let's break down how the Blue Jays wrapped up their first division title in 10 years. The Toronto Blue Jays are American League East champions. Has a great ring to it after Toronto put away the Tampa Bay Rays and wrapped up the division on the final day of the regular season. And obviously, a wild ride that concludes with a huge moment with Alejandro Kirk going yardski for the home run that sends the Blue Jays, or helps sends the Blue Jays into the American League Division Series and helps them close it out with a really good momentum boost. And we saw, I'm recording this late Tuesday night, we saw that the postseason is a different animal. Ask the Guardians and the Tigers today. But having that momentum and just going into this having won 4 in a row, earning that top spot in the division, has to get these guys back on the right track with the days off that they have now, getting ready for the division series on Saturday. So to keep that momentum going, or to build it back up again, and so many guys needed performances like that. And we'll talk about it throughout this hit, but just to be able to have this team come up with that performance at that time, and like the Yankees weren't giving it to them. The Blue Jays had to win 4 in a row to lock down the American League East, and they did just that. That sort of thing, I think, has to matter going into the postseason. And Alejandro Kirk, to go from being the kind of rock bottom for this team anyway, and have that last game that they lost against Boston, where he gets thrown out at first base from right field to end the ball game, and then for him to be able to bounce back and come up with a big hit on Saturday and then the 2 home runs on Sunday to get that confidence going again, going into the playoffs, is massive. Who knows what's happening with Bo? Kirk is, I guess, Springer, like Vlad, Springer, Kirk should be the Blue Jays' most consistent hitters. And when they are going, it is just so difficult to stop this lineup. So to get Kirk going was so important for the Blue Jays in this spot. We'll talk about a few other guys who this was big for in a moment. But first, if you could share this with your friends and a couple of people you don't like, just to throw them off a little bit, that would really help out the video, help out the channel, help out the streams, all those things. It would really, really help me out a lot if you guys could do that. Again, Kirk wasn't the only one who needed that sort of a performance, as Addison Barger has, like, he burst onto the scene, locked himself in as a no doubt everyday starter, but it's been a little streaky. There have been some roller coasters with him, and I know it doesn't end up being a gigantic moment in the game or anything like that, but he needed that. He needed that type of a finish to the season to give him the confidence going into the playoffs. And we'll talk about X factors a lot in the postseason. We just talked about it with Kirk, with Vlad, and with Springer. Those guys are going to be should be anyway, kind of the engines that get this thing going. But the NOS hit that you would get on Fast and Furious, that can be Addison Barger. He can be the one that provides that power to get this team kind of over the hump and just be a little bit more dangerous when it comes to what they are doing offensively. So he is fantastic. And when he is rolling anyway, and it looks like maybe this could get him going again. A lot of different things with this, and a lot of different ways to celebrate this. But I do just want to say that John Schneider deserves so much of the credit. And it does seem like at times maybe there is a touch of overmanaging going on there, but you have to remember, like, this guy has had 1 or 2 bullpen arms that you've been able to trust all season long, and who that has been has fluctuated greatly. And to be able to get this result out of that lineup is incredibly impressive. So I think that he has to get a lot of flowers for getting this team into this position. I think he should be manager of the year. I don't know how you can take a team and have them improve by 20 wins and have them not have brought in a giant free agent. And the big ones that they didn't even play that big of a part, right? Like, Scherzer was hurt for a lot of the season and then struggled late. Santander was really bad, and then he was hurt, and then he was back again. To have that kind of a turnaround and to be able to get this result out of that lineup is incredibly impressive. And so I think John Schneider deserves so much credit for what happened with the Blue Jays. So we'll have a lot of baseball coverage coming up on the podcast, on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, just if you just want the baseball, we have the playlist there, and you'll be able to be able to just kind of keep up with everything going on with baseball and all the thoughts from this channel. Of course, also, we would love if you could subscribe to the podcast. This one is available. Just search Couch Potato Diary wherever you get your podcast. That includes on Spotify as well as on Apple. New episodes of Couch Potato Diary dropping relatively regularly. So make sure you tune in to the podcast.